Hi, welcome to this course on improving emotional intelligence, or EQ for short. I'm psychologist Dr. Tracy Moreno. In this session, we'll learn the skills needed for emotional intelligence, and you'll be able to assess your own EQ with a screening test I'll guide you through, and we'll score together at the end. You will need pen and paper, so please pause this recording if you don't already have it, and come back when you're ready. First, let's talk about what makes up our EQ. There are 5 main domains. Number 1 is self-awareness. 2 is managing emotions. 3 is motivation. 4 is empathy. And 5 is social skills. Now let's go through each of these domains and break down what is involved in each one of them. So let's start with the first one, self-awareness. This is our ability to understand ourselves and our own emotions, and being able to identify what we're feeling and why. It's being able to identify our strengths and weaknesses, where we can ask ourselves, are we able to see ourselves as other people see us, or do we maybe have a distorted view of ourselves? It also involves accepting who we are, which would be our self-esteem, and also what we're capable of, which would be our self-efficacy. Number 2 is managing emotions. This involves being able to regulate and manage our emotions appropriately. It's understanding that our emotions guide our behavior and being able to take responsibility for our emotions and our behavior. Number 3 is motivation. This is being motivated from within for growth and achieving our own goals. It's the ability to move through adversity and failures, accept criticism, and remain positive while continuing to achieve those goals. Number 4 is empathy. This is being able to recognize and understand other people's emotions and being able to respond to them appropriately. It's the ability to see situations from different perspectives, like putting ourselves in other people's shoes. It's also the ability to read people and understand what they're feeling without them telling us. And the last one is social skills. This is the ability to communicate effectively and connect with people. It involves being able to resolve problems and conflicts with others, and being able to assess our own needs and the needs of others and balance them both appropriately. So let's go ahead and assess our own emotional intelligence. Now, there are many assessments online, so if you'd like a more in-depth assessment than what I'm going to go through now, you can just search the internet and put in emotional intelligence tests. The one we're going to take right now is a quick screening. It's called the Emotional Intelligence Test, and it's by Bill Gaultiere. So go ahead and grab the pen and paper. Pause if you need to and come back when you're ready. And I'm going to ask you questions about yourself based on the 5 areas of functioning that we just discussed. There are 3 questions for each area of functioning, for a total of 15 questions. Answer honestly, accept the first answer that pops into your mind, and don't overthink it. Each question asks how you act or feel in certain situations, and you're going to answer how often it is true of your actual behavior or attitude. Not what you want your behavior or attitude to be, but your actual behavior and attitude right now. Now, I'm going to give you a scoring key that I want you to write at the top of your paper, and you're going to refer back to this as you answer each question. If you answer always, then that's going to be worth 3 points. If you answer usually, that's worth 5 points. Sometimes is worth 7 points. Rarely is worth 9 points. And never is worth 11 points. For each question, write down the number that corresponds to your answer, and then we're going to be adding up that total at the end. So I'll say each question twice, but feel free to pause the recording if you need more time to answer. Okay, here we go. Question 1. When I feel bad, I'm not sure what it is bothering me. When I feel bad, I'm not sure what it is that's bothering me. Number 2, when faced with a disappointment or a loss, I try not to feel sad. When faced with a disappointment or a loss, I try not to feel sad. Number 3, I put high priority on understanding how I feel when I make an important decision. I put a high priority on understanding how I feel when I make an important decision. Number 4, when I am upset, it takes a long time for me to feel better. When I am upset, it takes a long time for me to feel better. Number 5, when someone criticizes me unfairly, I feel bad about myself. When someone criticizes me unfairly, I feel bad about myself. Number 6, my emotions are up and down. My emotions are up and down. Number 7, it's hard for me to wait to get what I want, even if I know it's for the best. It's hard for me to wait to get what I want, even if I know it's for the best. Number 8, when working on a challenge, I struggle to feel hopeful, energetic, and confident. When working on a challenge, I struggle to feel hopeful, energetic, and confident. 9, if I have to do something I don't want to do, I put it off until later. If I have to do something I don't want to do, I put it off till later. 10, when people share a problem with me, I think more about how they can solve it than about how difficult it feels for them. When people share a problem with me, I think more about how they could solve it than how difficult it feels for them. 11, in situations of conflict, I have trouble understanding other people's emotions. In situations of conflict, I have trouble understanding other people's emotions. 12, I am unable to sense other people's unspoken feelings on important issues. I am unable to sense other people's unspoken feelings on important issues. 13, I avoid engaging in conversation with people I don't know well. I avoid engaging in conversation with people I don't know well. 14, I say things to other people that I regret later. I say things to other people that I regret later. And the last one, number 15, in social situations, it's hard for me to build rapport with others. In social situations, it's hard for me to build rapport with others. Now let's score the test. Go ahead and add up your total score. And you can go ahead and pause this recording while you do that, and then just come back when you're ready. EQ scores range from 45 at the low end and 165 at the high end. The average score is 105. A score of 120 and above is exceptional. So see where you fall in that range. Are you below average, average, above average, or exceptional? Now let's break down the scores for each of the 5 areas of functioning, and this could tell you what your strengths and weaknesses are and maybe what you need to work on and strengthen. You can make a note by these answers, and I'm going to tell you which answers belong to which domains. So for questions 1 through 3, this is for self-awareness. 1 through 3 is self-awareness. Go ahead and write down self-awareness by questions 1 through 3. For questions 4 through 6, this is for managing emotions. Questions 7 through 9 are for motivation. Question 10 through 12 is for empathy. And questions 13 through 15 are for social skills. Now, in the upcoming sessions, we'll focus on the domains of self-awareness, empathy, and social skills. For the other 2 domains of managing emotions and motivation, I have several other talks. So I'm going to give you the titles of these talks. So if you'd like more information, or if this is an area that you want to strengthen, you can listen to these talks separately. So I'm going to give you those titles. For managing emotions, I have 2 talks. One is titled Emotional Regulation. And the second talk is titled Managing Emotions with Better Coping Skills. Managing Emotions with Better Coping Skills. There's also 2 guided meditations that can help with that domain of managing emotions. And the first one is titled Processing and Releasing Emotions. Processing and Releasing Emotions. And the other one is titled Lean Into It. Now, for the domain of motivation, the talks are titled Be Your Own Coach. The second one is titled Making a Plan to Overcome a Lack of Motivation. Making a plan to overcome a lack of motivation. And the last one is Getting Motivated for Change. Getting Motivated for Change. So this is the end of session 1. In the course classroom, please ask questions, share any challenges or successes you've had along the way, provide feedback to me, or give support and encouragement to other participants. I'll see you at the next session.